Hey everybody, Nathan Hall here. Today's lesson, we're going to look at the scoop from Astro City. A big thing to go look at is summary, because that's what our hero has to do in this one. He has to summarize something. And viewpoint. So some warm-up questions. We're almost done with Astro City. Now the big reason I picked this book, what is its theme about superheroes? What does it say about superheroes that Batman vs. Superman doesn't? Or Iron Man doesn't? Because each one says something. There's always a point to these stories. So this makes a very different point. And to tell me what it is, you'd have to do some summarizing. So let's take a look at this on the right. So it's kind of like if you were a person on the street looking up, this is what it would look like to you. And we even have some symbolism going on there. It's almost like the guy's got a halo, huh? So how would this be different from the Samaritan's point of view? Well, to him, we'd look like a bunch of bugs and shadows. So big thing we're going to look at here, summarizing and point of view. So our protagonist is a fellow named Elliot Mills. He isn't exactly a hero. He's a normal guy trying to start a career in journalism. He ends up becoming the editor of a big city newspaper. Let's cut this down. So we see most of the story through his eyes and narration. We also see a very different story appears in the newspaper from what he actually saw. He had to do a summary of something, but he did something very different. So he had to leave a lot out. And the only things he could include were things he could verify, things he could prove. So that's a big theme of the story is what is provable, what is true. If you see something and other people don't believe it, does that make it true? He had to go with things he could get other people to confirm, which for him came down to the fact the trolley was delayed by a shark. He had to skip a whole lot of stuff there. And that's what we're going to look at. Summaries. What makes a good summary? It has to be comprehensive. Isolate the important viewpoints. Pick the ones that are most important and essential to the author's thesis. Concise. You eliminate repetitions. You do not say things many times. You do not say them once. You do not say them two times. You say them once, not two times, not three times. And four times is right out. Must be much shorter than the original writing. Be coherent. Should be a piece of writing its own right, its own version of the story, its own version of events. Not a list of sentences thrown together. Don't do that. And don't imitate the author. Don't quote the author. Use your own words, but put forth your own interpretation. Don't put in your own comments or criticisms. That comes in another place when we get to analysis. So what's comprehensive mean? The main point has to come through. So the main point of the one published at the end, hey, a shark slowed down the subway. The thesis or main point to his story to the reporter, we stick with what we can prove. We don't go for crazy stories. We don't go for wild or amazing stories. We stick to what, even if they're true, doesn't matter. They have to be provable. Concise. Must be shorter than the original. As he says here, don't be redundant. So notice how there's a lot of battle scenes, a lot of images. We had a whole lot of characters come in. So you want to leave on any details that aren't important for the thesis or the main idea. Coherent, needs to be understood, should tie back together. It should be a version of the story article in itself. And it must be your own words. Don't quote, don't pick big chunks from others. If there's a word you can't avoid using, use it. Otherwise, it's your own interpretation, but not your own opinion. So you will have to summarize the scoop. Here's some questions you'll have to answer to do so. Another thing to look at with this story, consider the viewpoints. So you looked at objective and subjective motion before. So now we're going to look at objective and subjective viewpoint. Basically, if you put a camera around, just go about your day, that's objective. You put that camera on you, you get a GoPro, that's subjective. It's what you see. So we have some examples here. Guy shoots someone, walks away. Subjective. We focus in, we zoom out, we cut to other things. Give so much more motion. So this would be objective. We have all the objects there. It's from a Dutch angle, granted, but if we were in this room just seeing it, all that would be the case. Subjective. We see the old soldier come in. Hey, check that out. All the background's gone. It's blurred. We just see him alone. That's going to bring us to our second set of vocabulary words. We look at the size of a panel. We have the active ones. So here there is motion. Mono, we just cut down. We focus on this guy. Micro, we only focus on the gun. Whereas macro, check out, we have all these. Amorphic, we just focus on one inactive thing that doesn't move. So consider the effect this makes. This is something you'll have to talk about for the homework down below. You're going to have to look at the macro. How does it help to see everything in a scene? Because you have to pick out what's important then. I'm guessing you're not spending a lot of time looking at these glasses. This guy in the background, he's just setting. But these guys have got word balloons and they're moving. So I talked about motion so much. You can tell that something in motion you're going to be drawn to. Mono, we see just one active thing. Here we just see Silver Agent. Never mind that background. Micro, we focus on part of one thing. We see his eye and the press pass. Amorphic, this building's not moving. That building is a solid still object. People inside are going to move. So a lot of motion going on there. Questions, Khan Live class. The homework will have graphics. If the graphics do not load, tell me. If you just write in, I didn't see the graphics, you're not going to get points. You got to tell me this stuff. Because I do checks, I have someone else check it. Sometimes things still don't work out. So tell me if that happens and I'll let you know. That's all I have for this week. Come to the live class or contact me in Cafe if you have any questions.